Hello. Uh, uh, Tried to make a video last night of myself playing Random Pool Bughouse, but there was so many, AFKs and other mishaps that I just couldn't use it. Um, you know, if somebody is AFK, then I don't really see that has much instructive value. Alright, so we're going for the cheese. If he takes the knight, I'll checkmate him. Might have to trade queens, because I won't have queen c3. Alright, well, we'll take here first. Sort of hope that he can get active. I guess h5 is defending g4, and that's his idea. And that actually makes some sense. So I played bishop takes a6 so I could do pawn a7. If he took with the rook, then I would promote. The pawn is doing okay. I guess I just want him to, play the checkmate. Okay, queen of d1. Well, he didn't want to do that. I'm safe, unless my opponent gets a rook at e2, knight takes c3, and then another. So two heavies would really hurt me here, and I can't go to king f1, because then it's just king. Now, if my opponent gets a piece, he can block. But without a piece, it's over. As you can see, I lost a lot of points since last time. I spent a lot of time trying to, get games that were making sense. It just wasn't happening. I think getting back to 2300 should be pretty smooth. Even if I take a few losses, it doesn't really matter. Now, if he goes... Okay, so he could have taken this. I kind of want him to take here so he doesn't have his eye on h2. Now, what's the pawn saying? He wants a rook. Say, okay. I mean, I can get it. If he takes, I can, try to get it. I get a bit nervous when the partner's just moving the queen around. Like, this doesn't do anything, just goes knight takes, or even, like, knight at g3. We'll take here. And we'll put a pawn in. That's a free knight. Okay, well, it's nice when they... See, a lot of times they'll just move the queen. They won't even take the free knight. Wow. So my partner just gave up a queen for a pawn. There's also... This is going to be a bit hard to win. If he gets bishop, then I might just... Okay, I can run. There's, Okay, so unfortunately he didn't. I was hoping he would, but at this stage of the game, there's not much else for me to do but to play for, cheap stuff. Okay, so we actually are getting the queen, so my partner will be able to win. Now, this is still not easy for me because I have to deal with all this, knight and pawn. Um, it's mate in one, bishop takes e2. Oh, okay. Well, I was assuming that the opponent would play like rook e1, so you don't have queen takes e2. Partner's trying for the scholar's mate. Yeah, g6 just shuts that down. You can go queen f3, but it's not very good for white. Actually, queen e1 might just be the best move. Queen e2 also would have been nice to see. You can go knight c5. I can go f5 later, maybe. If knight c5, I could try, taking on c3. In fact, I might try to induce knight c5, take on e3. Might be able to win some material here. I think maybe knight e5 was better. And now, I'm already becoming unstuck because what's happening on this other board doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Now there is knight takes bishop. There's bishop takes f7. There's knight h3. Like white has a lot of good moves, but white is just sitting. And I put queen d7 in, so I'm gonna have to just refresh. Knight e5 is the move. Knight at e1, Now the knight covers g3, so there isn't like knight takes h2, rook takes, and knight at g3. But I don't really think my partner's gonna live very long, because you never know what he could do. Increasing the scope of this bishop. So I think I'm doing a good job of using what I have. So I actually have mate. So normally if your partner is rated in the 200s, you don't. But it is possible to win. And I have the Firefly system where it lets me keep moving. we won a piece, which didn't really do anything except, we simplified. Try to get inside. Use everything you can. Get the rook in. Sometimes, like, the 3-digit guys, like, they get good attacking positions, like they go knight f3, bishop c4, and then they don't take f7. And then, you can say, take f7, take f7, and then they don't take f7. Until it's way too late. One reason, okay, so this partner just played 2 moves and resigned. That is a thing that can happen. And if that happens quite often, I either have to edit this video or just not use it. I think that puts me right at square one as far as points go. But, there's a reason not to worry too much about the points. Like, the points don't indicate strength. Like, if I'm supposed to be 2300, then I'm supposed to be 2300 even if my partner plays 2 moves and resigns. If I'm supposed to be, 2600, then it's the same. Now this is actually a good position. Like, if he takes f7 and plays knight, now this, like d5 or castles might be best. Still, White's position is really good. I think part of White's problem is that White doesn't realize how good of a position he has. He'll take a pawn, so if he wants to go pawn it. See, queen f3 is more of a chess thing. Like, you don't sweat this bishop. You take f7, you go in. Bishop doesn't matter. The bishop's just a piece of wood. My position is not great. Maybe we can do this. Use the rook. 96 is not a bad move. The problem is just sort of indecision here. This pawn c7, actually pretty strong. Wins a lot of material. This move kind of makes sense. Because, okay, it's exploiting the pin. There is knight d6. See, taking on c6 like kind of just fixes black's problems. There's not really much point in me critiquing a 600 unless, you get a similar position yourself. We're also up, right? And there's just like no point in me even hoping for. There is knight d6 if bishop takes c4, so you can win this back. But black doesn't even see that this knight is on the cards. We're up, so if my partner sort of was a bit more experienced with Bug, they could sort of coordinate with me and say, sit, go, like hold flow, get me stuff to make. You could even go queen takes f7 and knight at d6 with the right material. Oh, what did I do this for? What did I lose? A pawn? Oops. Should focus on what I'm doing. Block. Knight at b4 is crushing for black because you're losing c2. If you take d4, you're losing c2. I think there may be some moves that I'm not seeing on the partner board. You could. this game doesn't make a whole lot of sense, to be honest. But my partner hasn't resigned on move 2. And so I should be able to flag this player. I do sometimes feel that there should be some kind of minimum bar for entry into Bug, like, playing. If you don't understand chess, then why are you playing a team variant of chess? Like, if you understand it so little that you play 2 moves and get overwhelmed. Cause yeah, it kind of ruins my. It definitely detracts from the video that I'm trying to make. But it's a lot of people. It's a lot of 3-digit players. And unfortunately, Bughouse has this sort of marshmallow grabbing aspect to it, where you see a check and you sort of want to get pieces from your partner. Like, black's gonna push d5, and white's probably not gonna see that stuff is hanging. c2 is hanging. You could go bishop a4, would be fine. Rook b1. At least you save the rook there. Bishop c5. This isn't making any sense. If he brings his king out, then it's just pretty ridiculous. Knight is gonna hurt him. Like you need to start taking these knights off. If I go here, there's bishop h5. So I might just have to castle. As ugly as this is, it's not too bad. The rook at least can move. If the pawn was here, it would be very ugly to castle. Queen c5. Yeah, this really makes it hard. So, we're conserving stuff. Like, if white puts a bishop down, he might be okay. I don't really think that white realizes that's a thing that he can do. So we can win the queen. Now, if he takes this knight, it's quite hard to give mate. If he takes a pawn, which his partner probably wants, then that's what that is. And you might be wondering, well, why play minus infinity? Oh, I should have taken this. There just aren't that many players if you seek for minus 400. Well, now there actually might be. Maybe I should switch to it because I'm only 2200. But normally, if I'm sitting around 23 something, it's switch to minus 400. See if we can get games that make a bit more sense. Actually, it's much more enjoyable to play on video just because there's the chance that somebody might learn something useful from what I'm doing. But there's nobody at minus 400, so we'll just carry on. you can get a good game of standard chess, blitz, bullet, whatever you want, at any time of the day. I'm not going to play zeros. But with Bughouse, this is what you get a lot of the time. And most players, I'm not competent, right? So I'm saying that like sort of descriptively and not trying to like pick on anybody. But why should it be that way? It shouldn't. And in some games, for instance, take the game of Go, right? Um, in Go, most players are above the sort of 2000 level. Partner's AFKing. Okay, he played a move. So I'd like to go h3, but without stuff, it's not that good. So I'm just going to take a piece. Try and run this pawn up the board really quickly. In Go, most players are above 1 dan, amateur dan, which is sort of like, the 2000 thing in chess. Like, so it's not like relative. It's not relative to like the middle, right? It's more about like how seriously people take things. And if I wanted to, at any time, I could find a chess player who's much stronger than me and could just like beat me 10-0. But in Bughouse, we don't have that. We don't have the numbers of players. Actually, I can take e5 maybe at some point. And I'm trying to go as fast as I can, maybe dealing with some lag. Okay, but he's just like what? Doing things that don't make a lot of sense. King h5, knight h5. Unfortunately, he found it too. So what do I do? Well, my partner's losing a queen for nothing. Is there anything worth trying? Knight h5 is coming. I need like bishops. Maybe like bishop plus knight. I'm gonna ask for a knight. Oops. Try to give my partner some direction. Try this move, just so that if you knight check, I can go here and I'm not dead. Although actually pawn here and queen h6 does make me. But even if I wasn't mated. This is just maiden one. But when your partner is rated 100, there's not much that you can do. We can try. Just try again. I think this player is pretty reasonable. And I even think they'd be able to handle a queen trade, so I'm gonna do what's safest for my king. This guy is solid, you know, he controls the center, and he calls his opponent's bluffs. So like tactically, it's things that he's doing are making sense. If he finds mate or not, it doesn't even matter that much. Like knight h7 next is mate. That's mate too. I guess I've bitched and complained enough, and the point of this video is not just to bitch and complain about the random players, but to actually give you something useful. Maybe the first piece of advice is just like get online at the right time of day. Knight g6, I'll go knight g5. Now I could say bishop and knight's mates, feed me. But I know that a 700 rated partner is not going to respond the way I want to requests for specific pieces. So in general, I won't even ask for something that they can take in one move. Unless I'm totally busted without it. Unless it's like, okay, if I don't get this, it's game over. Then I'll ask. Otherwise, not much point. Trying to, keep moving, use all the pieces. We can't win this pawn because it leads to a trap. Maybe we can induce like knight takes and win the queen. So again, like I'm playing quite trappy. Like he didn't have to give the queen there. If he goes back, it's harder. Someone's frustrated. Someone's not defending. Expecting 95. Trying to open the E file. Okay, let's try and trade off this piece. It's slightly annoying. Okay, so my partner found me. Well done, Sarkov. Yeah, not a whole lot happened on my board. So I sometimes play Sicilian, usually like Khan, Taimanov, Chevening and stuff with E6, and never really E5. Although sometimes E5. Although it's more of an anti-pre move. e6 is vulnerable here. Maybe just queen d7. If they want the pawn. Oh, okay. So they did eventually play that. Gotta hold a knight, maybe. Knight g6, bit awkward. Pawn at f4, pawn at g4, pawn at d4. These are all viable ways to play. Knight c6 is also, I'm not going to complain, you know, if my partner makes a good developing move like that. The rooks are connected, that'll help king safety later. Now, knight takes g7 is often quite slow. But it's still sometimes a good thing to do. Like in a high house situation, black shouldn't take it. But when there's so little being traded, it makes a bit more sense. I guess if I pawn h3, I have knight f4. All I'm going to do here is just line pieces up. Like I'm not taking, I'm just stacking. I have knight h5 ideas. Okay, so now the queen will mate unless my opponent finds a really strong defense. So, you know, you could always consider actually just stacking a G pawn if, you know, you're playing with a bunch of 2400s. But in this situation, we'll just go more slowly. You know, if I had stuff, it would be all these queen sacrifices I could consider. If f4, I have queen takes e3. Obviously, I don't want the bishop to come at the wrong time, but am I going to ask an 800 to hold a bishop? No. So if he takes it, then knight will mate. So far, we have not received one dropper, and we're still able to find moves. Now, it would have taken only a little to get checkmate, but it doesn't matter. The stuff isn't coming. The partner is not using the queen properly, but you know we just have to do the best we can. I sort of didn't want to move this bishop because there's going to be like knight c5 stuff. We can try to hit him harder than he's hitting us. Oh, oh, that is a thing, isn't it? So basically, you should play minus infinity if you enjoy going to the dentist. There's very little I can do that doesn't seriously weaken me. There's bishop takes rook. Uh, I found it. Lovely. I should have taken this one with check. Often what happens is you go in this situation you go rook mates, take the rook mates, and they sit, and then you make a move, and then they get the rook, and then the queen mates you. I'm just trying to feed my partner here. My partner is afraid of knight at f3. I don't think it's that bad. You really don't want to sit too much in that position. It can it can hurt you. Oh, I just hung. Pretty daft. Pretty bad. I'm looking at the other guy's board. I should have been more patient. 97 is okay, that's good. However, you know, if I can pull this off with, or if I can occasionally pull it off with 300, 200 rated guys, there's a chance for everyone. At least that's the hope. I'm actually playing pretty slow. Oh, I'm hanging G5. If I get a bishop, then I can get the queen back. Better do that. Oh. Okay, well, at least this guy's king is a bit safer. We're up time. I'm just never gonna get anything. Even Diex would be good, but we're gonna lose the time. Alright, this is the best I can see. Like, if he goes rook takes knight, king takes bishop, like, anything is gonna be huge, but he's just sitting. Like, there's really not much I can do here. Without just something. Very hard. So I need a pawn to mate. What should I try instead? Oh, okay. Well, that was pretty unreasonable. We got down a lot. I'm playing a bit slow. excuse me. I mean, the pieces should have come long ago, but they did eventually come. I'm gonna give up my queen to get inside. Oh, he took the knight and not the queen. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Let's get the queen out of the way, out of the line of fire. If we give a knight, then it ends. Maybe I was wrong about that. I thought I would find mate a lot more easily. B2 is a bit wrong. Bit odd to defend here, but I don't know what's coming. And now we can... No, we can't bring the queen away. We have to take this, of course. Can try for knight takes d5. Looking at discovered stuff. So we're going to take queen g7. Take this one. This is all good so far. Still not going to partner. F6 is the move that should be played. Push F6. Queen defends the king side. This is a bit... This isn't too bad. Rook G8. Be better just to go knight takes F6. More solid. So this is a bit unpositional, and there's always a question of will this knight ever do anything other than just sit defending f7. So as soon as the threat is off, I move it to the only square that makes sense. Queen e5 is good over here. Actually, Queen e5 could lead to mate if I get a knight at the right time. Let's take queen. Give a check. Make space for the king. That's so important. He can go queen takes f7 and knight g5. Unfortunately, he's kind of wasting moves with his queen like this. All of this is no good. Although I'm probably trading too much. Could even go queen takes and then knight at c7. This is probably going to end in a repetition. Oh, okay. Well, what the hell do I know? He doesn't seem aware that he could put a dropper down. So this is going to just be a draw. Which is a shame. That's a bit of a waste of time. Okay, let me play this here. Like, you can ask for so little from your partner, but you need them to know the rules of the game. So like, what does a strong player ask of their partner? We're not asking for specific pieces. We're not asking for fast play. We're not asking for accurate play. We're asking for develop pieces, control the center, don't castle too soon. I had a feeling he'd walk into that. Like, you want, if there's a mate in one, you want them to find it. If there's you can take something from me in one move and it mates, it's nice if they find that too. But repeating back and forth in a position that's totally playable is not very nice. That's a good move. White should play knight h4. No. White should play like maybe knight at h4, except I wasn't given a knight. So I'm playing pretty modestly here. Like, I'm just trying to control the center, win some stuff, control the light squares. My partner's not really developing his pieces, which, I find a bit hard to work with. But okay, he has a plan. Does it work? Objectively, it doesn't really matter. He's saying, get me pawns, I got him pawns. Let's see what he does with it. I'm only asking for it because he can take it in one. I'm pre-moving a bit too much. Yeah. The pieces are crowding a little bit. Oh, bishop d3 was no good. Well, maybe we can make it work. Yeah. Save the knight. I expect knight to be, or if it were me, I would consider knight to d3. Yeah, you gifted me diamond membership, but what good is membership to a Bughouse player anyway? The other thing is that like there's no option for somebody to membership. It's like they just make you a member, and there's no like you can accept or decline. Honestly, like if someone wanted to give me membership, I'd rather just have the money than membership. Membership is a bit worthless to me as a bug player. So we're just I'm just defending. Oh, okay. That was good. The little, in between moves can just make your position a lot more durable. I'm having some serious speed issues, mouse issues. If he takes on e4, I'll be pretty happy with my position. Partner's doing well. downtime. Actually, yeah, the rook is defending me nicely. Okay, the partner's gonna find mate. Pretty strong. There's lots of ways to do it. That's one of them. So this setup that I've been mostly using, it's pretty durable, you know, like you can, there are always more moves that you can put in to keep moving, to try to stay up time until the time is right to try and go in for the mate. Now, I'm saving these droppers. I've got to make them good. Got to make them extremely good. Uh, this partner seems pretty decent. Should I take my queen or knight? Maybe knight. He's not seeing bishop takes f4. So he's going to lose the queen. Should we sack the exchange? Let's try to... It's hard to know what to do. Yeah, 95 is good. This isn't good. I really need some stuff to mate him. This is good too. Partner's just not feeding. Like I just need pawns, knights, anything, and it's not coming. I guess we can do this. Yes, queen takes f2. Okay, so we don't lose material. I just don't know what to... Okay, so I got a pawn. think this guy spent like 30 seconds after his queen got trapped. Just made it very hard. This guy was like the most solid 1100 I've ever seen. This is insane. This guy is very strong. Um, there's like bishop takes f2 here, but even bishop g4. This is dangerous because he could repeat. So if pawn at c4, bishop takes, then you take, then there's queen. This guy is pretty good for an 1100. Okay, but he was supposed to take e4, not c4. But I made it hard by giving the queen. Knight h5 is nice. It makes things hard for me. So I lost a pawn. Which, one of my views is that it's okay to lose a pawn when you're playing black in Bughouse. But you'd rather not lose a pawn. This might not be good. Trying to stay active. I think I can deal with this. Got a lot of control of the surrounding squares. The other way would have been queen takes knight, and after f takes, because d is pinned, I could say, feed me. Okay. Now, this might get so. We're actually threatening queen takes knight here. Where's my mate? Damn it. Okay, maybe I don't have mate. It's pretty lame. I'm just kind of sitting here lamely. Yeah, I needed like an extra few things. Oh, it looks like the partner has found mate. That's kind of embarrassing that I was sure that I was in. M1, I don't think so. Maybe this one. I don't know. So this I don't like. This is just Hard, because it's just giving material for what? Nothing. Like white is totally safe. So we're opening the G file. Bishop mates, pawn mates. Partner seems to be AFK. Unfortunate. Bishop d4 is annoying. Shouldn't take this pawn. So I'm sacrificing a bishop, although he doesn't seem to want it. I'll just do this now when the queen. Let's try it. What the hell is going on this board? Hopefully you can get out of it. So I can't give the queen. Knight mates the partner. This is pinned. Didn't realize that was mate in one. I'm bad at checkmating. I had it all along. I'm good at positionally outplaying some opponents, but much worse at actually finishing them off. Take the pawn. As long as we hold knight, there's never going to be a forced checkmate. Now the problem is they're going to repeat. Now I can't go pawn d5 and win a piece because there's a discover check, so I just continue developing. If he takes, which I don't want, I at least get the H file. I'll go here next. Not here, because he'll take g3. I don't want to give two knights. He needs to move the king bishop. This is kind of what's hurting him, is not having space for his king, so it only takes a small amount of stuff to kill. Pawn and two knights, or something like that. Now if he moves the knight, it's just wrong. Like, just go bishop check, queen e7. This is just to make space. Pawn e4 is not that bad. It's hard. It's getting hard for me to find moves, and even though we're 20 seconds up, like, any partner can easily sit for 20 seconds and just kind of think about, I don't know, unicorns or something. Yeah, this just shows that he has no sense of what's important in the position. Like, bishop check and queen e7, like, then I don't even have to look at his board anymore. I can just try and win. Bishop c5 is good. That's fine. I mean, okay. There's some annoying stuff with, like, bishop f7, knight g5. But what's useful is that he can't legally bring his king out because the queen covers g6. A lot of people go king g6 when they don't have to, and you're just going, what the heck? I'd like to see something like bishop at g6. Or you could also just go knight, just take the pawn en passant. Just trying to limit the scope of my opponent's pieces. I'm not even giving knight for queen. Hmm. And why do I pay like $150 a month for internet and then connection's not even that strong? Black could push d4. Go e5. Taking is fine, no problem with that. Okay, go bishop e2. I want to go bishop d3, but pawn e4 is just too annoying. Okay. Yeah. Now, if queen takes, this is going to be free. You could just go pawn check and pawn check. Pawn check, king takes. Oh, I wasn't supposed to take the rook. What the hell? Ah. I mean, it's not like he doesn't have stuff. I think he's just kind of, you know, a beginner in chess. I wonder if you could just have, like, a certain number of rated chess games before you can play Bughouse. Because it's like, you know, someone who doesn't know their ABCs wants to attend a scholar on it, wants to attend a conference on English literature. It's like, it doesn't work that way. And yes, he's actually telling me to hurry up. Push the pawn. Let's push. Let's keep the trades low. Somebody's playing copycat. That's probably not good. If you copycat as black, you're gonna be a move behind. Okay, finally broke the symmetry. I'm threatening mate. Okay, partner's lost the queen. At least he took the knight. What to do? There isn't really checkmate stuff. I'm gonna try and convince him to move this pawn. It's still not clear if I can actually win. The partner is just blundering so many things. He doesn't seem to be aware they can drop pieces from the side. So he's just running the king. Set. He won't stop moving. I tried. What do you do? I mean, yeah, it's annoying. I'm not gonna lie, it's annoying. Like I can try to pretend that those wins are not annoying, but they are. It's not nice to have a partner who, I mean, strictly speaking, right? You should just, if you just proceed in a more linear fashion, um, then what I mean is like learn standard chess, then learn the variants. You try and play the variants first, you're gonna, just like ruin games for people, because that's all that was. Should have just gone pawn f7. Oh, you can force the queens. It's 2 for 1, but if the timing is bad, it's gonna hurt. Actually, queen h1 would be good. Like, as long as you don't go king f7, it's fine. So I have to hold knight. Knight e6 would be a problem. At least he dropped the queen. Like, dropping the queen for defense is so important. Oh, okay. I missed that. We might lose this. Although I do seem to be defended. Any move that isn't check is gonna hurt. My partner just mated themselves. Yeah, I thought that getting the 2300 would be easier. I mean, it should be. But you know, you get AFKs. Well, I didn't really get any AFKs. Although we did have the one guy who resigned after he made 2 moves and resigned, so I lost 15 points. I mean, I watch, for instance, like Dwyrin. I watch his Go videos, and you know, he's telling me he's telling his audience, you know, stuff that frankly I don't care about, like his rank or whatever. Like I know he's good. I just want to see how he plays. Like that's all I care about. So maybe you feel the same way listening to me talk about the rating. I mean, I hope you do. Like the rating isn't what makes the game interesting at all. So this is nice. He has mate actually. He can go like rook at d2, knight at c4, which is why I did this. I think it's going to be Yummy Bit telling me, why won't you partner? Everything I'm doing here is too slow. Like, it's too slow to work. But there's really little else to try. Get you a pawn. Get me a pawn. I feel like that wasn't reasonable. Like, I don't know why black had to get killed so quickly. And, I mean, yeah, I gave some stuff, but it's like, you know, if you're 2,000, you shouldn't go down that easily. We're gonna pretend like we're gonna sex it. Interesting. Now I'm going to want a bishop so that I can go bishop at a5. Just cement control of the dark squares. Now, I don't quite have anything concrete. Now this takes away the defense of e3, so that bishop takes e3 was possible. You should throw in bishop check first. Like, if he throws in bishop check, it's easier. Now we have to sit, which... Why make things harder for yourself? That's what I don't understand. But, you know, these details are important. You know, throw in the bishop check, make space for your king. This pawn is a bit annoying. Oh, that's a good move. Right hand. Knight 4. Okay, he's got the bishop checks. We love bishop checks. Now you can go knight e6. It's not that big of a deal. We're not coordinating, and this is hurting us both. So now the opponent is... Oh, wait, what? He has another queen? Wait, I miscalculated. But we should be okay. And there's really no response. There's no anti-pre move whatsoever. So let's kick this knight. If we kick this knight away, we can actually get a sort of advent. Oh, I should have taken b7. We can still... partner's losing. Rook f8 is needed, or bishop takes f2. Come on. That's just silly. You know, if you don't see skull as mate, you shouldn't be playing Bughouse. Like, that's just daft. Um, so I guess I'm sort of probably make this the last game. If we lose this, we'll lose points. Um, if you're playing Bughouse, you should have a teammate. You should have a teammate who you like, you are communicating with. And even when you lose, everybody loses. You'll be doing something that you enjoy. So I'm sort of glad that my partner didn't go like runs his queen to safety, then knight h6, checkmates. Okay, we'll play one more, I guess. But not plus. Plus 5. This is no good. You just can't play this in block because queen e4 and like you're hitting c2. Bishop is gonna hurt me. Bishop h5, but I'm sort of thinking that won't come yet. Problem is, it's hard for me to give the knight. Maybe we can do it. This is like the worst stuff you can do. Just like all of the moves are just so wrong. I'm gonna say, okay, you can take the rook for the queen. I'm sure my partner will be fine. I don't think he understands the fact that there are drops. No, not d7. What the hell? Well, he went king takes, so maybe we'll get somewhere. This just doesn't make any sense. This is so bad. Here you go, knight c5. the only move. No, the queen comes back. Like, there's just no clue whatsoever. Yeah, they just resigned. Let's try to end. Okay, I'm not partnering with that player again. That's just too silly. And I normally don't block 3 digits because there are just too many of them. You can't block them all. But that's just like, come on. That was just so wrong from start to finish. Knight f3, and you can attack the queen and get checkmated. Maybe he wants a bishop, I don't know. Yeah, this is just no good as knight c2. And it doesn't even matter about the queen, it's just that white's position is already fallen apart. And like bishop takes, develop. So again, none of this is making any sense whatsoever. And like, is he gonna block queen e1? Like, I could talk in the chat, but like a lot of people, when you talk to them in chat, they're just like, it's too much. I resign. Like, I'm not dealing with someone who's gonna talk to me. So bishop now mates, but knight doesn't. So we just keep going. Oh, pawn c2. That mates. And so I'd say that today has just been quite bad overall, but it was still better than yesterday. Although I was higher rated, like there were just AFKs and people resigning after 3 moves and all kinds of stuff like this. But I've spent a lot of time talking about it. I would like to talk about moves and the details, that sort of what I can sort of tell you something new and interesting that you haven't heard before when it comes to Bug. Let's try to open the H file. And I think, okay, there has been some good stuff that's happened. Some nice cases where we made it, even though we didn't get nice trades or timely moves from the partner, we still like maximized our winning chances. Although, it's like, does every game have to be like going to the dentist? Just totally frustrating, and you're just waiting for them to checkmate themselves, and they don't seem to learn a whole lot because they just go on to the next one. I don't know. kind of forced him to the square he wanted to be on. There's knight d3. Partner's just sitting. He's just waiting. A lot of these games would be easier to sort of, flag these guys if it were 2 minutes and not 3 minutes. But when it's 3 minutes, it's more time for the partner just to do something. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. This is just no good. Like, it's just, you just gotta count, as long as I hold knight, I mean, rook g1, you might be okay. Now, if queen takes rook and pawn at e6, that would be fine. But this, like, just doesn't do anything at all. This just hangs the queen. That was lucky. We'll pick up the pawn. I'm trying not to trade at all, because when you trade, people just get killed instantly. But, I can't hold off trades forever. Like, it's just not possible. Like, if it gets to the most extreme point where they can just threaten to take a pawn with a piece, and you can't even allow that, then they can just bully you. This is alright. Like, my partner is starting to fix. I don't even mind the queen. Just bishop takes, queen takes, knight g5, king e7. Okay, this is fine too. I mean, it's a pawn less, but it doesn't matter. You could even go pawn 8. This is just a blunder. Pawn h3. This is just a blunder too. So I might have something like, oh, okay, now I kind of don't, but okay, we've got this. Pawn at e7, or yeah, pawn at e7 might be best. I mean, this doesn't make any sense. Okay, so if we were to take the rook, it would mate us because it would be the smothered mate. It's hard to really find a good move when you're down, you know, this much stuff. Guys, king is just totally unsafe, so it's just a matter of, yeah, I don't know why people are doing this. Like, okay, he lost a lot of points. Maybe it's just I guess it's not just me. I mean, my opponent, you know, is also a very strong player, and he shouldn't really be below 2,500. So I guess he's also doing a lot of infinity pooling, you know, playing so that it's minus infinity. And I'm not just, you know, griping about the you know, but it's like the quality of the game seems pretty low. Not much better than this. I think Outrun U's problem is he doesn't want to attack. Doesn't want to sort of. He wants to win pieces. And that might give Bailey and I a chance to win. We're down. I would just go pawn at f3, yes. This just hangs material. Pawn e7 or pawn e6. Yeah, just take e2, right? I was hoping for rook d2, knight at c4. That's why I sacked the queen. Rook d2, maybe? No, rook d2 is no good because there's king b1. Yeah, the Bughouse is always very safe. Yeah, we're just lost here. Yeah, there's nothing. I honestly don't know why I'm doing so poorly today. Let's see if I can beat the Bughouse. So Outrun You is playing it right. Now he has a bishop check. It might just be easiest if. So he can trade bishops all he wants, but he's just slowly improving my position. Now we're gonna do what my friend Auto Chess calls a laddering. This is tough. This guy missed knight h6. I'm not even calculating. I'm just spamming checks. Knight d6 is the best. It's just losing. Yeah, you can't just go knight 94 and allow bishop takes f7. I might be getting a little fatigued. Players getting dodgy. Actually, when I was playing well, I was losing all. Oh, queen. So I've got to stay safe from queen while not giving queen. And actually, he's going to have bishop takes and then rook takes. Not really much I can do about that. There's also just like knight d6 stuff anyway. Alright, nobody's moving. I'm gonna end it here. Hopefully there are some instructive moments. You know, you can see how I try to maximize the winning chances. Thanks for watching if you made it this far.